Hey, everybody, it's Keith with Trades Education Center. Another episode of Trades Secrets here in the month of March. And time is flying by, folks. And today I'm going to talk to you just a few updates. It's just me in the studio today. And just got a few updates that we want to share with you guys. We are halfway. Yeah, we're halfway through our spring session with our 6 apprentices this go around. And things are just moving right along. The guys are working through laboratory sink install with drain and water distribution lines and toilet water and drain, and then they're going to work on kitchen sinks later this week. Then we're going to work our way into the rough end room. So we're full steam ahead with spring 2025 introduction to plumbing. And some other updates, as you saw in our last episode with Jeremiah Outwater and Power Evans. Jeremiah is he's full steam ahead with Little Red Acorn, our nonprofit partner, and he is making lots of connections, both out here in Jackson County, Barrow County, Walton County, whatever county we can get to, honestly. But we are getting a lot of growing interest in what we're doing here. Which is exciting. It's exciting to see the growth of support. We're working on some fundraising for Little Red Acorn, which then impacts us as well. We need it for the rest of the year. But also with that, we had some just great support happen as we started this spring session. Odie came through in such a big way for us. So Catherine and Doug, who I was on there, Chris and I both were on their podcast, The Fix, back, fall of last year, I think. And we've kept in touch with them. They reached out, asked what we needed for the year. And boy, did we get a shipment in from them. Odie has been just amazingly supportive of what we're doing. They are the rough end people. So if you're looking for any rough end products, Odie's where to go. They've been awesome. Also, we've added a couple other support companies and manufacturing reps. McKee Nix, I think they're out of Tucker, Georgia. Anthony Tony. He came by and was able to get some more support for us in terms of product, particularly from Sioux Chief. So Sioux Chief, I holler at them and McKee Nix for helping us out. And as always, the other manufacturing rep agencies that have been supporting us the whole time. This has been such a great experience getting to know all of those different agencies, getting to know some of our manufacturing partners. And speaking of manufacturing partners, another one was just here last week. Tim House from Ream Manufacturing was here. He is the, I think, regional Southeast regional manager for plumbing. I think it's something like that. Tim is a great resource. He's a retired master plumber who's been working with Ream for quite a while. He ran a trade school in Kentucky. I think he was on an episode of the podcast last year. So Tim was here last week. Another great week with him, teaching our guys all about the basics of water heaters, installing water heaters, and then did a tankless teardown. It was fantastic. So the guys really enjoyed that. And again, shout out to Tim. He's such a great person to have here, not just in terms of instruction, but he's a great advocate for the trades. So appreciate him being here. What are some other things going on? We continue to have great conversations and developing partnerships with more education resources out there. So we recently had another meeting with Lanier Technical College up right outside of Gainesville. And so we have a working partnership with them. So we're waiting to see what that looks like exactly. But man, we've gotten such great support from them. We appreciate them. And then also we are working, we're working into the school systems with Barrow County schools, Jefferson City, Commerce City, a little bit of Jackson County. Yeah, Jackson County, the Empower Center. Hopefully, I'm hoping to have Mr. Easler, who is the head, the president, principal. I think they call him the president of the Empower College and Career Center of Jackson County. So he's been a great supporter of ours back when this studio wasn't even put together yet. And so he understands. He went through the very beginning stages of getting Empower up and going. So we're hoping to have him on soon. And I think another thing that I wanted to focus on today was to give a breakdown of the industry, not in terms of the latest and greatest of what's going on with plumbing in particular, but a little bit of a breakdown of what's available in terms of the job market. So a lot of people don't know that there are different sides of the plumbing industry. And I guess we could probably break it down in 3, maybe 4 major areas. And then I'll try to go in a little bit more on each one. So the first one that I mentioned a good bit today already is the manufacturing side. So from Odie, Rheem, A.O. Smith, Watts, American Standard, all those major brands that you're aware of that you see when you go to the big box stores, or you go to your local supply warehouse, like a Win Supply, all those major brands, those major manufacturers, they are constantly working on innovating, trying to come up with new and better ways for plumbing to be put together and to work. This is convention season right now in the spring, so a number of these companies have all been gathering at these big conventions for people to learn their latest and greatest. And that's what they do. And a lot of these companies have such amazing opportunities for people that are already in plumbing to come work for those companies, or people that have an interest in plumbing, but maybe they don't want to be an actual plumber. They can go into the manufacturing side, and which is actually kind of part of what Tim House does at Rheem. He's a part of a number of different things there in terms of product innovation, research and development. And those all, there's so many of them that happen right here in the United States. Some of their production obviously is in other places, but a lot of the research and development happens here in the United States. So manufacturers, that's one slice of the plumbing pie. That's multi-billions of dollars of opportunity where people can get involved and get start out with a manufacturer and work their way up to whatever level they can. So those are great opportunities. So that's manufacturing. I'm going to work toward the local level. So manufacturers, the step between is something called manufacturing representative agencies. These companies, they do the work of connecting the manufacturers to either the plumbing wholesale warehouses or directly to contractors. So manufacturing representative agencies, we have great partnerships with about 4 or 5 of these so far, which is amazing. Of course, my partner in the business here, Tim Davis, he has long established relationships with all of these agencies, and they are fantastic to work with. So from United Sales Agency, who they've been a big supporter of ours from the beginning, Doug Dyson, big shout out to Doug. Doug has literally he's made commitments to us and has been just such a huge support for us. So United Sales Agency, they represent a number of different manufacturers in the plumbing industry. And they do that by going around and helping plumbers understand what the new products are, training them on them. There's all kinds of things that those representative agencies do. So United Sales is one. They're here in Georgia. I know some of these are national, some of these are local or have local versions. So the United Sales is one. Harry Warren of Georgia is another one. Kevin and Mike over there have been incredible to us again from the beginning. Great support for us. They have again, just like United, a great presence here in Georgia and throughout the Southeast. So a big shout out to those guys. Again, they have another stable of plumbing manufacturers that they represent, and they help go around and train. And I think that's the shocking thing that I didn't know about is manufacturing representative agencies. While they're in the sales business, they're in the education business. They help contractors, plumbers, they help that side of the industry understand new product. And a lot of people don't take advantage of what they offer, which is somewhat mind-blowing sometimes. So, but that's another one. Harry Warren, Georgia. McKee Nix, I mentioned them a minute ago, from Tucker. Pulley and Associates, that's another big one that has been such a great support of ours. I'm trying to think. Sunbelt Marketing, that's another group. I think they're out of Austell, I think. Another great manufacturing representative agency or company. So Sunbelt Marketing. Odom Sales is another one. I think they're down in South Georgia. Again, these are all agencies that have brands, manufacturers that they represent, and they help those manufacturers get out to the marketplace directly. And so they've all been great. And actually, that's another part of the conversation we have with them about our trade school is all of those agencies need people that can talk plumbing to all the warehouses, to plumbing contractors. They need people too, because again, just like your everyday plumbers, the agencies, they need fresh blood, if you will, to help come along as the next generation of manufacturing rep agencies representatives. So again, I'll say it again, we got manufacturers, the manufacturing representative agencies, and now we're going to go into what we call the boots on the ground when it comes to the actual work of, actually, no, I've got one more step. And that is the plumbing supply, plumbing warehouse side of the industry. So the ones that I can think of off the top of my head, one, first and foremost, Win Supply, because Tim Davis is one of our partners here. And so Tim runs the Win Nelson in Gainesville, Georgia. And that's part of Win Supply. They're nationwide. They're huge. If you've watched these episodes, you've seen Addie Utz, she represents kind of the Southeast region for Win Supply. And actually, we're hoping to have her here at the school in a few weeks. So the supply warehouses, they are the go-to for your commercial, residential, small and large contractors to get their supplies directly from those warehouses. These are different. They're typically different products than what you're going to get at Home Depot and Lowe's. We've talked about that a little bit, but and that's we could do a whole episode on that at some point, and I want to, because I think that would be really good for people to know about. But the warehouses, so Win Supply's a big one. Ferguson is another one you may have seen or heard about. Reese is another one. The PDI is another one. Again, these are all plumbing supply, and not just plumbing. I would say the mechanicals. Some of them cover a little bit a wider, piece of the pie than just plumbing. Like Win Supply has more than just plumbing. They do, I think, electrical, HVAC, so all the mechanicals. But all of these warehouses are specific to, it's not that they don't take the public in terms of somebody coming in and asking for something, but they are focused on serving contractors and plumbing or mechanical businesses. So again, and they're all over. People can go to the warehouse to pick up things, and then they can also have things delivered to their work site or to their offices, wherever they might need them. And they're all over the country. So, and again, that's another opportunity that people can get into is starting work in a warehouse, whether you're driving the truck, pulling orders from the warehouse, working up front as an inside or outside salesperson, to running the warehouse. That's what Tim does. That's what he's worked his way up to, is owning and running a warehouse. So you can do all those things. You can start out driving a truck, pulling orders, and work your way up. So again, that's the third. So we've got manufacturers, manufacturing representative agencies, supply warehouse, and then now we get to, they're really all boots on the ground in different ways, but now we get to the actual plumbing contractors. And that's a whole nother, again, I could do an episode on each one of these, which I think I probably will. But contractors, you've got commercial, commercial / industrial. So they could take care of anything from large buildings. I mean, big. These are some of these companies are focused in the Atlanta, at least out here where we are, out toward Athens. A lot of the bigger industrial commercial companies are located in Atlanta. They're big, and because of that, they are able to handle bigger jobs. And so whether it's building hotels, convention centers, high rises, these are companies that have a lot of resources and a lot of people. And there's a lot of opportunities in those companies. We've talked about that with our apprentices, where if they can get on with a commercial contractor, they could get a lot of experience. It might be a really thin slice of experience for a little bit of time. They might be just, if it's, I don't know, they might just be cutting pipe for a while, but that doesn't diminish the experience. They can get to see a lot with a big commercial company, and they're recruiting. Boy, let me tell you, they are recruiting. We have some that are coming to visit us here. We've had a couple visit us here, and so the commercial side, just like your local residential plumber, the commercial side is hurting for people as well. So they're looking. And so again, that's the big commercial and industrial side. They do big things. They handle big valves and pipes and all kinds of crazy stuff. So, and then along with that, you have actual plumbers that work there, and then you actually have the pipe fitter side, which is a whole other part of the plumbing industry that I'm only now learning about. So that's the commercial side. And even in commercial, there's the side that does new construction for housing. And new construction is different. Knowing what's in the walls and how to do that, that's part of what we're doing with our guys right now. New install, new build is a little bit of a different game in the plumbing industry, and that's something I'm learning quickly. And so some of those companies do that. Even some smaller companies in the area will do new construction as well. And then, so the commercial and industrial, new construction side, and then you have the service and repair side. And that can also be, service and repair can also be split between commercial, industrial, and residential. So like our partner, Chris Griffin here, runs Mastercraft Plumbing out of Jefferson, and they do both of those things. They do service and maintenance for plumbing for large commercial buildings, industrial buildings, as well as residential. So they do a little bit of everything on the service side. Service is different. Service, you're coming in after everything's done and everything's built, and replacing water heaters, replacing faucets, fixing broken lines, all kinds of fun stuff. It's a little bit of a different game, but I know that also Mastercraft has done new construction before, or I should say some repair work. I know, gosh, I think a little over a year ago when we had the really bad freezes, they went in, they were hired to fix all the plumbing on an entire floor of a local hotel that during the winter, when we had that really bad freeze and everybody's pipes busted. Well, this hotel's pipes busted. So they had to totally rip everything out of, I think, 2 floors. And with that, of course, they needed new plumbing to be done. So I got to go out and see some of that work being done. And so they do that as well. So again, the residential, or I should say the service and maintenance side, that's commercial and residential. That's another. That's where you get more toward your local plumbing contractors. Not to say that there aren't bigger companies that do that locally or regionally, for that matter. But yeah, and again, those companies are hurting for people too. Every one of these parts of the industry are need people. I would say probably, if I had to guess which one had the least need for people, it would be the manufacturers. That would be my guess. I'm going to guess on that. But everybody else is in, especially on the contractor side, is in dire need of help. I know that there are companies that, I know that there are jobs that are not being done, buildings that are not being completed, just like sites that are not being built because they can't find someone to bid the work, because in order to bid the work, you've got to have the workforce to be able to do the work. And so another reason we're here, we're trying to address that issue of workforce development. So I'll go back. Manufacturers, manufacturing representative agencies, the supply warehouse side, and then the new construction contractors and the service and maintenance contractors. So that's kind of the 5 big areas, I would say, of the industry. Each one of those areas are multiple billion-dollar sides of the industry, and each one is in need of a workforce, a modern, young workforce. As a guy heading toward his 50s, we need people way younger than me to get into this industry so that all of us can be taken care of when we get older. So all that being said, we are getting in, as I said at the beginning, we're getting into the school systems. We're working with Lanier Tech, the Technical College System of Georgia. We're getting in front of the Georgia Board of Plumbers. We're trying to do all of these things to be an active part of the solution to the needs of the plumbing industry. Now, I'll wrap up by saying this. We don't want to stop with plumbing. We know the electrical side needs help. We know the HVAC side needs help. Carpentry and framing, masonry, all of these different aspects of building, if you will, and maintaining, all of them need people. And there's such great opportunity if you're willing to work hard to make a really, really good living and to take care of your family and to contribute to the community. That's something that I don't think a lot of people realize, is how much each one of these industries contributes to the health and well-being of the community around it. And in particular, plumbing, because it's particularly close to our hearts here. Plumbers help the health of the community. They keep water lines clean and safe, all those things. So I think hopefully that gives you a good understanding of the big different areas of the plumbing industry and how there are just so many different opportunities there. We have a big retractable banner that I take with me to schools that it shows the range of opportunity in each one of these areas of the industry. And it's amazing. It's amazing what people can. And maybe if I can figure this out, I can point right here and there will be that graphic that'll show you that. Maybe, if it's there. Anyway, so, but I hope that gives you a good rounded view of the plumbing industry. And again, I just wanted to come on here and give you guys an update because we haven't been on in a while. I'm hoping to get some people on very, very soon. We've got several people I've been talking to about coming on the podcast and sharing their stories. So, again, lots of fun things are on the horizon. We're going to be doing some adulting days or senior days with some of the high schools locally here in a few weeks to help young people know that there's opportunities in the skilled trades. And I think that's it. So we're hoping very soon to have some exciting news about what we're doing going forward, some kind of big news, especially as it relates to TEC, but also as it relates to Little Red Acorn, our nonprofit partner. But so far, we're just going to keep chugging along. And as the old saying goes, we're going to keep chopping wood. So thank you all for tuning in. I hope this hasn't been too terrible for you. I enjoy talking about this because I enjoy letting people know about the opportunities that are out there. And that's part of what we're doing. So thank you again for tuning into this new episode of Trades Secret, the official podcast of Trades Education Center. I'm Keith. I hope you guys have a great day, and we'll see you soon.